Figured I'd make a quick video on expansion tanks in your hot water systems. So this is the expansion tank I recently placed into this old heating boiler that I have. That said, the hot water tank needs an expansion tank, which I placed. I didn't film placing these because I'm not exactly professional at doing it, but now that I've done it twice, I feel comfortable explaining what I did and how it's working. So I want to tell you that the expansion tanks that I purchased, they come preloaded at about 40 psi, and that's something that's important to know, that these expansion tanks have a valve on them. They come pre-charged. Right here, you can access it so you can bleed air out like you would a car tire, or you can fill it up. So I dropped the pressure down, and what you want to do is you want to match the pressure of your expansion tank closely to the pressure of your system. So down here I've got a valve that I placed, backflow valves. It's a closed system, so it's going to be water goes in but doesn't come out into the drinking supply. So you want to balance the expansion tank about a couple psi over what your system sits at. So this system sits at 10 psi. That's what I got when I hooked this up to that valve down there, and it came up at 10 psi. Now ironically, the system coming in from the street, so I've got an outdoor spigot for a water hose outside here, and when I hooked up to that with that meter that I have, it showed 80 psi, and I'm thinking, well, how in the world is the system at 80 psi but 10 at the boiler? Well, it turns out that spigot is before this pressure reducing valve to the house. This drain valve down here in the hot water tank will give me access to the pressure within the tank. Well, because I put this ring around here, I can't twist on this pressure reading dial to tell me exactly how much psi. I guessed when I installed this, and I made it 12, assuming that we've got 10 here, maybe we have 10 here.
Never assume. When you assume, you make an asshole out of yourself.
But to know for sure, I purchased this 1-foot extension, which is going to allow me to screw on to that valve there. It's a lot more than I was expecting to see, and I'm really glad that I ran this test, because this thing's showing like 52.5. Pump that up to match that pressure right there. Alright, I pumped it up to match, and I did turn the hot water on in the kitchen to relieve some pressure here while I did that. So I'm going to go turn that off, and then I'll explain to you how I hooked it up and what I used. Alright, expansion tanks usually are shown in a fitting on this side of your shutoff valve, cold water on the hot water tank. Because I didn't have the space for that, I plumbed it in up here, kind of in the same fashion as the boiler. Seems to be working fine that way. I did use ProPress style fittings to do it, and for $100 I got this on Amazon, which has been pretty awesome. No more sweating joints. Not that I was very good at it, but this is a, I think, ISOBAY or ISOBAD compression fittings. It's got 1/2 inch, 3/4, and 1 inch collars that you can put in, so it's good for 3 different sizes of pipe. This is what it looks like before it's compressed. There's a black O-ring inside, and it's almost like shark bite idea regarding it's a pressure fitting. So that's about it. Hopefully, if you're considering doing an expansion tank, this will give you an idea of what you're doing. You know, if you're checking out a couple videos on how to do it, that's what I do. You know, a few videos, see who seems to really know what they're talking about or who doesn't before I go for it. So I hope you enjoyed this, and if you're interested in purchasing any of the tools that I showed here, I'll put a link inside the description that'll take you there. I am an Amazon affiliate, so while I don't make any money necessarily on the product, I do get a cut of the sales for driving traffic that way. But the main point of why I like to put the things online that I do is that if you're looking to do the exact same thing that I did, you could use the exact same tools. They're pretty cost effective, and it'd be an opportunity. So appreciate your watching. Have a good day.